So again, welcome to Project Review Committee. My name is Rocio Mejia. I am the Assistant Planner at the city. We're gonna go ahead and take roll. We have Jeff O'Neill, our City Planner. We have Fabian Uresti for Economic Development online. We have Sarah Torres with Engineering Department. We have Robert Alvarez with the, where am I at? Water Field Services Manager. And then Javier Sanchez, Engineering and Project Management Director. Here in person, we have Clayton Dignam, our Fire Marshal, James Wickersham, Chief Building Official, and Cheyenne, what is it? Fire Inspector. Okay, thank you. Oh, and then I'm sorry, we have Mark Acevedo online for Police Department. And David Payne, Water Utility Superintendent. Did I miss anyone? Garrett. Sorry. Garrett Keller, Planning Technician. I was trying to do it in order and I guess it didn't work out. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with oral communications. This is the opportunity for members of the public to address the committee on any matter pertaining to the project review. Are there any comments?
No.
Okay, hearing no comments, we're gonna go ahead and start with the first item. The first item, PRC 2024-013 for Porterville Adult Day Healthcare at 262 North 2nd Street. 262? Yeah, 262 North 2nd Street. The applicant is proposing a tenant improvement to an existing building for an adult day care medical clinic facility. The property is located at 262 North 2nd Street. The property is owned downtown professional office and has a general plan land use of downtown retail. The project is being classified as a daycare center, which is an establishment providing non-medical care for personnel on a less than 24-hour basis other than family day care home. This classification includes nursery schools, preschools, and daycare facilities for children or adults, and other daycare facility licensed by the state of California. And it is a permitted use in the Porterville Development Ordinance in the downtown professional office. Since we are also having care for individuals, but not on a 24-hour medical need, this also overlaps under the elderly and long-term care use, which is also a permitted use in the downtown professional office. Okay, we'll continue with the planning comments. They are general comments, and I'll go ahead and start. Any changes to the exterior building material and color shall comply with the downtown design guidelines. For any trash and refuse collection areas, they will need to comply with the Porterville Development Ordinance. All non-residential developments in accordance with the following standards. All enclosures shall comply with the California Building Code and Fire Code. The recycling storage areas shall be located outside or on the exterior of any building. They will need to be enclosed per city standards for refuse and recycling enclosures. The enclosure material shall be solid masonry or concrete. The gate material shall be decorative, solid, heavy gauge metal or heavy gauge metal frame with the covering of view obscuring material. All electrical, telephone, cable television, and similar distribution lines providing direct service to a development site shall be installed underground within the site. Maintenance of the facility shall be maintained free of refuse, debris, or other accumulated matter and shall be kept in good repair at all times. All signs shall comply with downtown design guidelines as well as the Porterville Development Ordinance. Section 305.05, the sign standards. Wall signs are permitted in this downtown professional office zone district. Wall signs shall also comply with the downtown design guidelines. Window signs are permitted and shall cover no more than 50% of the total glass window area along each building facade. Temporary sign banners are prohibited. Handheld sign, portable signs, and other similar temporary advertising devices shall be prohibited. Please ensure to submit for a temporary sign permit if there will be an installation of such sign. And then keep in mind that any commercial building alteration with the combined permit valuation that triggers, what is the amount, or Javier? The amount of the permit valuation triggering public improvements?
It's like right around 27 to 28,000.
Okay, thank you. So if there are any alterations to the building, keep in mind that if it triggers this, there will be public improvements required. Did the applicant or agent have any comments from the planning?
I have a question. This is Alex about your CGD.
Hi, Alex.
Regarding the improvements, so we are required to install lights. Is that already being counted towards the requirement?
Yeah, Alex, it's James. I know you guys came to PRC years ago. I think the reason we're back again is because the time had expired. But we know that you have plans in and everything. You already have comments from all the departments.
Yeah. So the PRC is just kind of like a formality to.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and have Javier present the engineering comments.
Yeah, so how it was already stated, based on the building permit submittal and valuation, it looked like we'd be looking at the frontage and what improvements may be needed. It just really came down to street lights that have been shown on the plans, and then if there's any like broken panels or lifted panels, those would have to be addressed so it avoids tripping hazards. But other than that, that's all engineering would have.
Thank you, Javier. Were there any questions from the applicant or agent for engineering?
No, not for me.
No questions.
Thank you. We can go ahead and start with fire comment.
Essentially, again, we've been, both building and fire, been in contact with the project team as far as the previously approved plans for the fire sprinklers and fire alarm or fire monitoring system, updating those to the current 2022 California fire codes, building codes, and then just resubmitting them for a review. But I believe they had already been approved last time, so it's just a matter of updating them and allowing us time to review them and reapprove.
Thank you, Clayton. Any questions for fire?
No, not on my side.
Okay, thank you. Building?
No, just repeating the same thing. I know you guys have plans in, everything's currently being looked at. This is just one of those steps that just this overlap for so long that we're back here.
Thank you, James. Any questions for building?
Just that we're on the same page. I believe the plans that we resubmitted have been already looked at, and I can't say approved because I believe, James, correct me if I'm wrong, due to fire needing to be resubmitted, that was kind of not a defer submittal, but a separate submittal. So are we foreseeing any more comments from you guys, or is just the fire that needs to be dealt with?
Those are, currently those are different permit numbers, so they're different, they're totally different permits. So, but we're still in review of your latest response. I think we're pretty close to it being approved, but I don't want to say for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. Thank you.
Any other questions for building?
Not for my part.
Okay, we can go ahead and have Robert, did you want to have your comments?
No, I think you covered the comments on the refuse containers, and I'll let David Payne speak to the water.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, my only comment would be, being it's a commercial building, it would need a backflow device that installed just after the water meter.
Any questions from the applicant or the agent?
No questions.
Not from my side either.
Okay, Mark Acevedo, did you have any comments for police?
No comments from the police department.
Okay, do we have everyone? Yes, okay. Okay, are there any other questions from the applicant for any other departments?
I
No questions.
do have a question I just want to bring up. There was a comment regarding a new fire hydrant that we might need to install. Is that still being required?
Yeah, the fire department connection can be no more than 50 feet from an installed and functioning hydrant on the same side of the street. So where you place that, there needs to be one, even if it's less than the 300-foot spacing requirement, it has to be on the same side of the street. So I believe the one to the north was too far, and it's crossing a street up there. But yeah, so there was going to be one required. And I think what we had approved the last time, if I remember correctly, I believe the FDC was going to come in on the north end of the building. Either way, the hydrant was going to be placed in the public right of way there.
Okay. Now, do we need to have fire sprinkler plans for underground connection, or was it, because I'm not dealing with outside of it. I just want to make sure the applicant understands whatever is needed.
So if the design for that has an underground component to the fire department connection, we need the underground plan submitted with the above ground plans. However, the hydrant itself would be a public works permit.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes, the underground is due with the above ground for the fire sprinkler service line and all of that.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the applicant or agent?
No questions.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so we can go ahead and move on to the next PRC item. You're welcome to stay if you like. The next item, PRC 2024-014 for Vinny's Metal Fabrications at 51 South Cloverleaf. The applicant is proposing a change in occupancy for Vinny's Metal Fabrication to an automobile vehicle service and repair major located at 51 South Cloverleaf. The property is zoned CG, General and Service Commercial, and has a general plan land use designation of General and Service Commercial.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so the automobile repair is a permitted use in a general and service commercial zone. What type of welding work will you be doing?
Just pretty much like frame repair. Say like if someone wrecks like cracks the frame or like gets in a wreck or something, I can repair it. Just little simple stuff like that. And I mainly do just suspension work, which would be like lowering and lifting trucks. That's about it.
Okay, will the work be conducted inside the building?
Yes.
Okay, is that
Yes.
building there?
Yes, to the you guys left. Yes, that one.
Okay. Okay, so it looks like the building, based off just the Google measurements that we did, it was a 50 by 100, which would be a total of about 5,000 square feet. The site plan and floor plan are showing only 50 by 75 for a total square feet of 3,750. Would you be able to verify that?
As far as like the building itself, or
The size of
especially
the
the whole
building.
parcel.
Are you leasing the entire building, or is there something else going on in the remainder of the building? Because you show 75 feet, but the building's 100 feet long.
Yeah, no, I got the whole building. It just the other side is like my what happened is my dad was renting out in storage for his stuff. And so I pretty much have one side where I'm gonna be working and then the other side is just storage.
Okay, but the overall building is 50 by 100 feet, correct? The
Yes.
whole- Yeah, okay,
Yeah, the whole building that I do lease.
okay.
Okay, thank you for that information. So we'll go ahead and start with planning comments. Automobile, vehicle service and repair, major and minor are permitted. For noise, ensure that all activity is conducted within an enclosed masonry or similar building with sound attenuating construction to absorb the noise. Air compressors and similar equipment shall be located inside the building. Make sure to keep the building in good conditions at all times. And the property, any discarded automotive parts or equipment or permanently disabled junk or wrecked vehicles may be stored, may not be stored outside of the building. So make sure to keep it clean. All work areas shall be conducted within the enclosed building as we previously mentioned. The bay door shall not face a public right of way. Corner lots, 2 or more streets with different classifications in the general plan. But it looks like the bay area is to the west right there, right?
Yes, that's the main door that I would use to go in. The front door right here is my entrance point right here. The brown door right there,
In the
that's where my
corner?
entrance
Okay.
is. Yeah. For
Okay,
me,
thank
and
you
then
for
like
that information.
yeah.
Okay, and then for signs, just make sure that you comply with section 305.09 of the Porterville Development Ordinance. Total sign allowance is calculated at 3 square feet per 1 linear foot of building frontage with the general and service commercial zone. And the signs that are permitted include awning, canopy, marquee, projecting, wall and window signs. And please ensure to submit a building permit for sign if you do happen to install want to install those types of signs. Okay, also window signs shall not cover more than 50% of the total glass window area along each building facade. And please ensure that you submit for a temporary sign permit if a temporary sign will be installed. And then again, trash and refuse collection areas. Please ensure that it complies with the California Building Code and Fire Code, and it shall meet the following requirements. The solid waste and recycling storage area shall not be located within any required front yard, street, side yard, or required landscape area, or other area required by the ordinance. And it should be constructed or maintained according to fire or other applicable building codes. Okay, so the material and construction, any building, shall be enclosed per city standards for refuse and, recycling, enclosures. So that includes all outside and exterior, trash enclosures. The enclosure material, shall be solid masonry or concrete. And the gate material shall be decorative, solid, heavy gauge metal or heavy gauge metal frame. Landscaping along the perimeter of the recycling and trash enclosure. And, drought tolerant landscaping. Are there any questions, for the planning?
I just have a question on like as far as like the signs on the buildings. What's like do you guys have like a certain size? You guys
Yes, so it depends on the zone district, and, this will be in the PRC comments letter, and then we can talk more about it after the meeting. There's, depending on the size of the building, how many you can have, and we can talk more in detail. And those details are included in the letter also.
okay, okay,
Okay?
cool.
We can run some calculations.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
One additional comment, all paved areas, parking lots shall be maintained and improved.
Okay.
Are there any other comments for the planning?
No, I don't have another comment.
Okay, thank you. We can go ahead and, go on to engineering's comments with Javier.
Is the plan to just move in? There's no construction going on?
Yeah, no, there's no construction. I'm just pretty much taking over what my dad was renting, you know what I mean? There's no other construction. The only thing that I'll probably do is just paint the walls. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah, with that, engineering would not have comments on this one.
Thank you, Javier. Did the applicant have any questions for engineering?
No, I don't have no questions.
Okay, thank you. And what fire?
So just real quick, historically researching this building, we found that it's been, I want to say, what was it, 7 to 10 years since there was an active business license, which for us makes basically that building vacant. There's no existing non-conforming occupancy that gets to carry over after that time frame. With that in mind, the project is going to have to comply with all the latest applicable codes. It has to meet the minimum fire flow requirements per table appendix B in the most recently adopted edition of the California Fire Code, which is the 2022 California Fire Code as of this review. There is a fire hydrant shall be placed based on distance no greater than 300 feet for commercial projects. No structure shall be greater than 400 feet from a fire hydrant. Depending on the location of existing hydrants, required fire flow, additional hydrants may be required. All hydrant locations shall be approved by the fire department. Fire hydrants located across a public street shall not be utilized for calculations or considered as available to meet the fire flow. They can also not be used for fire department connections. Fire sprinklers are required in a group S1 occupancy used for the storage or repair of commercial motor vehicles where the fire area exceeds 5,000 square feet. Fire extinguishers shall be placed to comply with the currently adopted edition of the California Fire Code, which is 2022. A Knox box is required. Address numbers shall be posted on the building and shall be visible from the street. The installed numbers shall contrast with their background. And in a fire sprinkler design, the FDC has to be placed within 50 feet of a functioning hydrant. And if the property allows a minimum of 40 feet from the building, if the property doesn't allow for that, then we can reduce that area. And I'm not sure if you're aware, though, you mentioned working on, lifts and lowering vehicles, including trucks. Pickup trucks, including small pickup trucks in the state of California, are registered as commercial vehicles, irrespective. And so that's the triggering for fire sprinklers if we're at or exceeding 5,000 square feet.
Okay. As far as like stuff like that, I'm just a lease, so would you have to bring that up with my landlord, pretty much, the owner of the building?
We wouldn't bring it up with the owner of your building. It would be incumbent upon, you're bringing the project to this. You can provide them with the notes and everything like that, but that would be a civil matter between the two of you, whether you were gonna do it, or they were gonna do it, or something along those lines. It wouldn't be something we would make them do, unless they intend to lease to you and they agree to do it.
Okay. Okay, okay. And then as far as like the fire hydrant, that's something
Yeah,
that
so
the city would have to
so-
take care of, right?
no, it's not something we would take care of. If you're required to sprinkler the building, you have to place the fire hydrant within 50 feet of that fire department connection. If there's not one within 50 feet already. So, and then in areas like this that were potentially underserved for water, when projects like this come in, that's when they're evaluated for whoever's bringing the project to bring in the required water. So, water services.
Okay, and how would I know if I need to put sprinklers in there or like that? Is the fire department gonna come check out the building, or how does that work out?
What you would do is you would reach out to a design professional, and you would have them come and measure the building and review it, and then they could provide you with a bid, I guess, and you can have multiple, you can get bids, and go through that process.
So Clayton is the fire department. So he is the one who is going off of the code. So the fire code says if the type of business you're running, if it's in a building that is 5,000 square feet or more, it does require sprinklers. So based off of the measurement that we took, or that you provided, it is 5,000 square feet. So that's what triggers fire sprinklers.
Well, the ones he provided weren't the whole building.
Right,
We
but
only
you-
provided a portion. We just kind of did a rough estimate based on, rough measurements. We have not gone and done an exact measurement. That would be what we were saying before is you submitting a proper plan showing the exact dimensions of the building.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that's pretty much.
Fire area.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
What
So
was that?
if the building, say the building isn't 5,000 square feet, then I
And
wouldn't have.
it
Yeah,
doesn't
then-
trigger the fire sprinklers.
Okay, okay, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, what
Okay.
I'm going based on the information you provided, I could clearly see was incorrect. I did a rough measurement, and that's why I'm saying that if it's determined to be this, then this is what's required.
Yeah, okay, okay, I get it.
Did you have any other questions, Vincent, for fire?
No, I'm pretty clear.
Okay, thank you. We can go ahead and go on to building comments. Okay,
Okay.
comments? Right.
No, like Javier asked if there's any work being done. If there's not any work being done, then I would have no comment.
And also, just for clarification, you don't intend to do any painting or anything, correct?
Oh yeah, no, I don't like that dirty stuff.
No problem, no problem.
Any questions for building?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Then, Robert, did you have any comments for field services?
No comments. You covered the vending closures.
Okay. And David?
No comments at this time.
Okay, we're missing
So an
anyone?
enclosure is required, so are you told?
We don't have Brianna here. In the event that we needed a trash enclosure, we would need, that material to be enclosed.
The trash enclosure,
Yeah.
trash enclosure, like
Yeah, so, yes, so Robert,
Is one required?
uh-huh. Would a trash enclosure be required here? I know Brianna wasn't, available.
Is my understanding for any commercial business, there is a 3-bin trash enclosures that are required. We can get back to you on confirmation of that.
Okay.
and
We
the
can get
trash
that
enclosure
information.
is the one that is like for the big bins, like the.
The 3-bin enclosure.
Okay. Cause right now, as far as like the trash, I just get like the regular trash cans.
Okay, and we'll verify that. We'll get that information for you, before we send out the letter.
Okay.
We just didn't realize she wouldn't be available until just before the meeting,
Yeah. Okay.
but we'll confirm that.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Did you have any other questions?
No, just that's pretty straightforward. I just gotta see what about that about the water, the sprinkler system. That's the only kind of um I don't know how to say it, like a thing I have to check, right? Just as far as like the square footage.
Yes,
Okay.
okay, thank you. Mark, did you have any comments for police department?
No comments.
And David, did you have comments for water?
No comments at this time.
Okay, thank you. Did I get all the departments? Any comments from the applicant or
No,
question?
no comments.
Okay, so thank you for submitting that project. You should be receiving the letter in about 2 to 3 weeks with the comments that were discussed during the meeting. So if you have no other questions, we're gonna go ahead and end the meeting today at 2:06 p.m.
Yeah, no
Thank
more
you.
questions. Thank you.
Did you want to?
Because there was only that we need